Here are this week's top 5 Babylon Bee headlines.
As always, we've picked our favorites, the headlines, and now we'll decide which one should be named numero uno, Queen of the Hive. We start with Philadelphia shoe stores, liquor stores, electronic stores looted by starving people desperately looking for bread. Next, looters completely ignore Foot Locker referee blowing his whistle. Next, Biden condemns Menendez for taking bribes in gold rather than fungible assets laundered by 20 different shell companies. And the next one, Biden insists UAW workers get 300 days of annual vacation, just like he does. And finally, to avoid embarrassing falls, aides will now transport Biden using presidential hand truck. Katie?
I mean, I guess anytime it's just funny. Physical humor is funny. It's funnier than sometimes the intellectual humor not everyone gets, but physical humor, falls, all of that, that's funny. That's humor. So the
hand truck?
I know that is photoshopped, but it looks like it could be definitely real that Biden would be transported by a hand truck. If you know what a hand truck is, it's
like a dolly.
We call it dollies around here.
Yeah, dolly.
I call it a dolly.
Hand truck?
Hand truck.
Yeah, never heard that expression for that.
Fancy term.
Yeah, so
but I that one
careful.
To me, it's just funny. That's funny.
On the border of age shaming.
Oh, is it?
On the border.
Well, at least it's not term limits.
Well, I like the referee blowing the whistle.
That is also.
Yep, that's mine right there.
That's
They're
also
completely
like a
ignoring
thing.
him. They're stealing stuff.
He's blowing his whistle.
He's blowing his whistle at Foot Locker.
I mean, at Foot Locker, that's exactly where I go to find my bread too. So that other headline prior to that one, it's accurate as well. I mean, they're just looking for bread. So we need to go to the shoe stores like Foot Locker or the liquor stores. You know, bread and wine, David, bread and wine, they go together.
I know, they do.
Just saying.
They do. It's just sad that this whole, talking about the looting and what's going on in the stores, in the big cities. And I mean, a bunch of corporate stores are shutting down, closing in some of these cities because of the theft.
Yeah.
Record levels of theft. And if you're not policing it, what do you expect?
Yeah, well, and then they're just going to leave it, apparently. Like, no, okay, so these corporations are leaving, and instead of being like, oh, wait a minute, the government being like, oh, this is not good for our society here. Maybe we should rethink what we're doing here about our policing and all the crime that's happening. Should we change it?
Maybe we should.
We're going to triple down on allowing the crime to happen. I mean, Chicago, we just call it Chicago for decades. Just Chicago.
We're Chicagoing the country.
We're Chicagoing the country.
Maybe we should
it's a verb.
Do something novel like enforcing the law.